less than a decade ago, bicycles were the dominant form of transport in most rural areas. In came the motorbikes that took the transport industry by storm, roaring their way to every corner of the country. Now, many unemployed youth found a faster and easier way to earn a living from the now popular Boda Boda industry.
Kampala, Uganda. A typical day here on the streets. My colleague Mary Kilobi in red is trying to make her way through town. Crossing roads here needs more skills, perhaps than anywhere else in East Africa. She has to watch out for cars, motorbikes, and motorbikes. They move anywhere, anyhow, and at every turn. Take a look at this junction, for instance. Motorists are forced to stop for minutes before they can move as they make way for engine bikes. This has been the case over the last decade since motorcycles replaced bicycles as a dominant form of transportation in the region. And finally, the motorbike culture made its way to Kenya, earning themselves the now famous name Boda Boda, to signify the fact that they first became popular in border towns such as Busia as they ferried passengers across the national boundary.
The Boda Boda industry within the East African region is one that has seen a steady rise over time. In Kenya, nearly 600,000 units are registered in a year, with the industry contributing significantly to the country's ever-growing gross domestic product. But it has not been an all-rosy ride. Operators of these motorized two-wheels have been accused of gross indiscipline, lacking in even the very basic of traffic rules. This has led to an increased number of road fatalities. It isn't hard to see why. In Kenya, Boda Boda operators flout rules with unrivaled impunity. The industry has also been causing headaches for pedestrians and commuters in Uganda's capital, Kampala. So much so that some hospitals there have even dedicated special wards for motorcycle accident victims.
Crime in this Kenya's capital is taking different dimensions literally, as armed robbers masquerading as motorcycle riders terrorize city residents day in, day out. The cases are so bad that even the police are falling prey to the criminals. Last month, Parkland's OCS was shot and fatally wounded by thugs as he flagged down a motorbike within Parkland's area as he and his officers were patrolling the area. The men on 3 motorbikes had robbed and shot a businessman of an Asian origin, and as the senior officer went to respond to distress call, the thugs attacked him and rode away. Wednesday the 21st this month, the thugs on motorbikes were at it again, this time in Kariobangi area in the outskirts of the city. The robbers attacked a man and robbed him of his valuables, but the man raised alarm and luckily there were officers patrolling the area. And as they tried to stop the suspects, one of the criminals drew a gun, but the officers were fast and shot him dead.
Motorcyclists are everywhere and they are swift enough to move criminals from place to place. Sometimes they're using even small pathways, which maybe motor vehicles can use. They are swift enough even to ferry criminals away, and also to bring them to the scene, even during odd hours. I think a law should be put in place to manage these motorcyclists because they have become a security threat. They are the ones now used by criminals.
At some point, we come across this motorbike that had been hit by a bus along Tomboya Street, causing heavy traffic as the operators demanded to be compensated. According to CBD Boda Boda chairman, police have thrown a blanket condemnation to all the riders as thugs, arguing that they know those who engage in crime among themselves.
We are not thieves the way people think. We are not muggers the way people think. We are different. We are genuine business people in this field, and we like people to come and see.
hundreds of victims of Boda Boda accidents are nursing injuries at various orthopedic wards across the country. The accident ward at Bomet County's Tenwek Hospital, for instance, is always filled to capacity with people injured in Boda Boda accidents. Doctors are now saying they need more help from the central government to regulate Boda Bodas in order to reduce the number of accidents. All of this, as Boda Boda riders say, motorists are often cruel, inhumane and arrogant.
Everywhere we've been around the country and with all the motorbike operators we've interacted with, majority of them have said that it takes less than 10 minutes to learn how to ride a motorbike. So I'm here at the Silibwet Stadium in Bomet County, where it is believed that majority of the motorbike operators have learned while at this stadium. So the gentleman right there has offered to teach me how to ride a motorbike. We'll just see how long it takes to ride one. In exactly 10 minutes, I was riding on my own. The same time it takes hundreds of riders operating on our roads to begin taking you through crowded streets, maneuvering through such traffic, taking your child to school, or dropping you off for that important business. However, even with private motorbike training schools, as the director of NTSA proposes, a majority of the riders will hardly be able to afford the fees, preferring to be trained by their colleagues.
Well, I think that is unfortunate, and that is not being realistic, because if you want to acquire a skill in the proper way, you go to school. There is a cost to it. And sometimes we say cheap is expensive at the end of it, because if you are not properly trained, then you are knocked down, you break your leg.
Deep in Kakamega County, Juma Rashid has been confined to his compound for the last 1 month as he nurses a fracture on his leg. He was previously employed as a Boda Boda operator, circumstances of his accident quite a sensitive topic. And now doctors are contemplating on amputating his leg. He blames motorists for what he calls their recklessness and negative attitude towards Boda Boda riders. All he wants is recognition that they too are road users.
Boda Boda are suffering massive this, because the other road users assume Boda Boda are not supposed to the road. Wakiona mtu wa Boda Boda kuja, they assume that another person.
Traffic Commander Evans Ketembe takes us through accident statistics in the larger western region. This year alone, there have been 154 total accidents, 46 of them fatal, and the passengers make up the highest number of those seriously injured, that is 43 of them. Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Daniel Galat says he has seen all forms of fractures. Some, he says, are beyond imagination. He takes us around the orthopedic ward. With a capacity of 45 beds, most of the time, all the patients are motorbike accident victims and are often drawn from across the country. Some are sent to nearby hospitals as they wait to be admitted at Tenwek once the lucky survivors are discharged. The injuries are so severe that the hospital has to import metal rods used to fix the fractures all the way from America, while a majority of the patients can hardly afford their hospital bills.
These are very difficult orthopedic problems. Multiple fractures, sometimes in the same patient. Open fractures, which means that the bones are out of the skin is not in continuity.
The hospital says they need more help from the government and other bodies to cope with the crisis.
This is a new worldwide epidemic that's not going to get better until we understand the problem and begin to enact change.
We begin with what we know about the incident itself. According to the police, on the 4th of March 2022, a female driver collided with and injured a motorcycle operator on Nairobi's Forest Road. The female driver was later identified as a Zimbabwean diplomat. Fearing the nearby Boda Boda riders who are known for attacking motorists, the driver unsuccessfully attempted to flee. From this moment, the video shows the woman in her car screaming and struggling to push away the men who are trying to undress her while groping her as well. And it gets worse. Other riders order that she be removed from the car and stripped naked. The woman was eventually rescued by nearby policemen.
Speaking. Tonight reporting the arrest of 16 persons alleged to be Boda Boda operators following a shocking assault on a young female motorist by rogue motorcycle riders along Professor Wangari Maathai Road right here in Nairobi. The attack caused a major public outrage today, with Kenyans expressing anger over the brutal assault by a mob of Boda Boda operators. The attack, filmed by mobile phone, showed adult males physically assaulting the motorist as she screamed for help. Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the police, as well as the Boda Boda Safety Association of Kenya have all expressed disgust over the incident.
It is an incident that has led to a nationwide outrage. Kenyans are livid, seething with anger, and using social media to condemn the harassment of a motorist on one of Nairobi's roads. It all happened along Professor Wangari Maathai Road, formerly Forest Road. A motorist is said to have hit a Boda Boda operator, sending him flying and breaking one leg. But what followed next has completely left an entire country dumbfounded. Fearing for her life, the young woman driving this grey vehicle attempted to speed away as Boda Boda operators, together with other goons, bayed for her blood. They soon caught up with her and forcefully opened the driver's door and proceeded to physically assault the woman. Her screams fell on deaf ears as grown men went on to violate her in every manner. Completely ignoring the fact that this could even be their own sister, mother, or even a daughter, these men unleashed terror.
So, ladies and gentlemen, while the government will continue to strengthen the laws and regulations to address gender-based violence, it is incumbent upon all of us as individuals and society to protect our women and girls. These are our daughters, our sisters, and our loved ones. I must at this stage refer to what was referred to here, because without a doubt that was a very disheartening thing to see, and it is only one of others that have occurred across this country, we must be honest. And yesterday I did give instructions, and I have ordered a crackdown on all Boda Boda operators, starting here in Nairobi and moving across the country. And the reason I have just chosen just to pause, just to refer to this, is because I know with this, and because we're in the silly season of politics, there are some out there who will go out and start saying the government is harassing small traders, small business people. There is nothing further from the truth. We want to see our young people succeed in their businesses. There is no government that has done more to support our young people in trying to foster their businesses. There is no government that has done what we have done to help these Boda Bodas in terms of reducing the price of these motorbikes. And we have seen the number and how they have flourished across the country. That was not done because we wanted to kill their business. We wanted to promote their business. We wanted to ensure that they are able to earn a decent daily wage, which is still our commitment. We applaud the many wonderful young men, and in some cases women, who ride these motorbikes and do great service to this country, delivering people who ordinarily would have had to walk long distances, that last mile, where a bus or a matatu will not go, and helping passengers with their luggage to get to their doorsteps. We know the great work that they are doing in terms of helping us achieve a truly digital economy through delivery of goods across our country using Boda Bodas, actually really boosting our digital economy. We have heard of many heroic stories of young men who have come to the rescue of women and people in distress voluntarily and returning even goods that people have left behind. This we cherish, we love, and we want to support, and we shall continue to support. But friends, that is not a license for you and your motorbike to harass pedestrians by driving on pedestrian walkways and chasing them back off onto the road. It's not a license that allows for a Boda Boda to be used to do drive-by shootings or to break vehicles' windows and harass motorists along the road. And most definitely, it is not a license for you to strip and remove dignity from our women. No. No. We want to work together with you. We want to help your business prosper. But you must also do your bit, kwa sababu wateja wenu ni hawa wakina mama. Watakuwa wateja wenu kwa njia gani ikiwa nyinyi wenyewe mnawatokosea heshima vile mmewakosea? We cannot be a society that allows that. Na mimi nauliza viongozi, tafuteni hawa wabaya katikati yenu muwaondoe. We are going to re-register you all again, and we must make sure. Kwa hivyo, wale wanataka kupiga siasa, wapige siasa. Sisi tunajua tunalinda maisha na mali na haswa wakina mama wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, na tutafanya hivyo.
And it's not an ordinary night here on Newsnight. And that's why on the program this evening, I'm joined by my colleague, Victoria Rubadiri. And it's for more than just the International Women's Day.
Indeed, Wahiga, it is a commemoration clouded by a most ugly, most unfortunate and utterly deplorable incident captured on camera along the Professor Wangari Maathai Road here in Nairobi. But let's acknowledge one simple fact. Had the video not been captured on a mobile phone, we probably have never known something that nasty actually happened.
And so we stand here tonight in solidarity with the millions of Kenyans shocked and outraged by the graphic assault on the helpless female driver. We stand here tonight because of the heart-rending wailing of a woman who could well be our sister, our mother, our wife, or our daughter. We stand here tonight to say enough.
Enough of the impunity, enough of the lawlessness, and enough of the rogue mentality associated with the Boda Boda sector. The assault of the female motorist in Nairobi must mark the crossing of our collective red line. It cannot go beyond here. We cannot fall any further as a country and a society.
And that's why we welcome the tough stance and the stern voices that we heard today from no less than President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i. But actions must follow words, and consistency must follow administrative plans. Now, the matter at hand is so grave that the very basis of law and order in this country now depends on how the government proceeds from here.
Well, talk of regulating the Boda Boda sector has previously ended as just that. Talk. Well, the administrative lapses must now be avoided because they come costly. The brutal assault of a helpless woman is only one of many prices we continue to pay for a sector that has basically found comfort in recklessness and lawlessness.
We also turn to our fellow countrymen, brothers and sisters, the Boda Boda operators. It's time to separate the wheat from the chaff. We honor those of you who are earning an honest living through the Boda Boda industry, but we appeal to you to weed out from amongst yourselves those who start off as wrong elements, who grow to become thugs, and graduate to what we honestly have to say and state tonight are traffic terrorists.
It is the humanity of the genuine, honest business operators in the Boda Boda sector that should lead a necessary internal cleanup of the sector. Well, government action alone is not enough. Every Boda Boda rider has a role to play.
Unafanya makosa gani?
Mimi nilikuwa napita hapo na teremuka, nilikuwa naenda Coptics. Nikaona mtu anasimama mbele yangu anainua mkono. Nikaingia hapo kwa hapa ndani kujisaidia.
Sasa, mbona unatoroka polisi?
Mimi ningejua ati ni polisi kama hana uniform.
Mbona huko simama tukuonyeshe hivi ni akina nani?
Ningesimama aje? Si mtu anaona uniform asimame.
Sababu amesema nini? Anaenda. Wacha tu. Kuna ngapi hapo?
So there is a comment that I saw on, or I heard somebody say after this video came out of this assault, that somebody was like, why are we making it a gender issue? It's violence. Why is it gender based? And of course, I get the reasoning there because an assault is an assault. But the way she was assaulted, first of all, she was assaulted like that because she was a woman. And two, I think even in general, because she was assaulted because she was a woman and she was alone in a car. You know, as in to the point she had my mom call us and she's like, have you told your friends? Have you told your cousins? Like, did you see that video? And she's now calling all her daughters. You know, because if it was a guy who was found in the same situation, you think these guys would go now trying to grab his sexual organs? Are they going to grab it? Would they be removing his clothes? You see, that's why it is a gender issue. It is a gender issue. There could have been some sort of confrontation if it was a man. We don't know. But I don't think it would be sexual, like what is the word? Harassment. Sexual harassment.
That was sexual gender-based violence.
All right. So there's gender-based violence and there's sexual gender-based violence. So that means like sexual gender-based violence. It's targeted to the fact that you're a woman, and they defile your, I don't want to say sexual organs, but like, you know, your boobs, your vagina, they're stripping you, your nakedness.
It was an unequal power structure. It was 16 men against 1 woman. So they took advantage of that power structure. Then you said abuse of power. And then they sexually
abused. They sexually
harassed her.
They sexually
harassed her. Only Nairobi is trying to make some rules against gender-based violence.
And let me tell you something.
Imagine
if men were the ones being assaulted, the laws would have been made.
Of course.
Of course. Before even laws existed. We were just we call this a law. They'd be like, women are attacking us.
But that is the problem. Laws were made by men.
And they don't see. Another reason why it's important to have women in leadership so that our issues can be brought to the forefront. At the end of the day, yes, you cannot be.
Endeleeni tu with your insults. We also know how to record. Chukua mawe. Rusha. Yes, proceed. I'm also recording. Proceed with the throwing of stones. Endelea.
Excuse me, our Uber is here. You're such a very racket driver.
Proceed with the insults. I also have a CCTV and dash cam. I have a dash cam,
This guy anatuliza ati yuwaletea how much ndio kuliwa pesa.
Unaona huyu vile ananigonga na mawe? I'm telling you, I have your numbers, I have your everything. I'm going to teach you manners you've never been taught.
You're a sand nigger. That's what you are. You're a fucking sand nigger. Fuck you. Yeah.
Film him saying that, nigger. Continue saying that.
What's a sand nigger? Do you know what a sand nigger is?
Joe?
Do you know what a sand nigger is? Because I do.
Joe, stop. I'm videoing. Stop. I'm videoing. You stop.
I know it's standing there, Reds. Fucking stand. Fuck you.
I got your license plate.
Fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit.
You should never drive Lyft again.
No, you will never drive. Yeah. You will never drive.
Are you happy now?
No.
By calling people?
No, we expected a Lyft drive home. That's what we expected.
Just put on your mask.
Hey, hold on. Gosh. Hold on. You're just a fucking stupid idiot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
fuck you. You feel good?
Fuck you.
You feel good now?
Do you feel good?
Do you feel good? Here, hold on. I'll feel better when I piss in here. Let me piss in your car.
Go ahead, do it.
Hold on, I'm gonna piss in your car.
Do it.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I'm not, you stupid fucking nigger.
Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
As you're recording, record him saying nigger too, okay?
Do you feel good?
You.
His name is Joe. Thank you so much.
Do you feel good?
Have a good night.
Do you feel good?
Have a good night.
10:01. Fuck you.
Acha bebe. Wapi bwana? Anagonga muni anatoroka kwa nini? Mano, geuka tu. No. Haezi hata polisi wako, wangesaidiwa na polisi.
Sawa, ameua mnyamazi hapa. Ni mse wa Uber. Wacha. Vizuri. Pigani kabisa. Ameua. Mnampiga kwa nini? Pigani kabisa, endeleeni kupiga. Wacha waendelee kupiga. Wacha waendelee kupiga. Wacha waendelee kupiga. Ameua wapi?
Ameua nani?
Ako wapi mwenye ameua? Ona. Acha amewa na muno nayo. Ona kwa nini? Ndio ndiye kwa lika. Wacha kuharibu gari wewe. Haribu gari ya nini? Ndugu yake imepiga. Wewe. Wakati pikipiki inaua watu nyinyi mnapigwanga. Unaona? Ai. Kwa nini mwizi? Wewe. Wachani. Wachani. Wewe. Ai. Na mnamwachilia. Na labda ni kitu amegonga. Oh, na ile kitu anamuonyesha. Unaona hii gari ni tire bus. Saidia. Wanampigia nini? Hii gari inaonekana iko na tire bus. Wanampigia nini? Wewe, shikeni yeye bwana. Hii imevunjwa tu saa hii hapa. Wanampiga kwa nini? Kwani accident?
Crackdown yetu ya ndani ningependa tuongelee kuhusu umuhimu wa miti. Kwa hivyo mimi ninahitaji mote, wewe unahitaji hiyo mote, sisi wote tunahitaji mote. Hii ni muti ya kuotea bari, inakuaga iko na tumegwa. Hiyo muti ukishazashasa nayo inaweza kuduga miba.
The matatu crew and petrol station attendant are sexually harassed at Lady in Nairobi Githurai matatu route have been sentenced to death for robbery with violence. Again, matatu crew that was caught on video, and that also included a petrol station attendant robbing a woman in Githurai in a Githurai-bound bus, have been sentenced to death by a Nairobi Milimani chief magistrate. Now, if you remember, in 2014, the stripping of the woman led to massive demonstrations by women in Nairobi and gave birth to the slogan, "My dress, my choice." Here's how women reacted back then.
The subject of just how far the hemline should go has been quite effective at dividing society, and that divide between the permissive and the conservative is clearly drawn at the knee.
Akiona skati yangu imfai, naja ninunulia, akona shingo, legeza tu shingo hivi kidogo, angalia kando. Kama na ninamsumbua sana. Nani anaume idol anafanya hiyo kazi?
This group of women is putting up a fight against the disturbing images of an African flower withering in the hands of its protectors. The men who in this way expressed their views of how the hemline should be extended to a more respectable length.
Seeing a woman being stripped in public, it's really not right, because it's someone's right to wear the way she wants.
What would you do if you felt that somebody was underdressed? It's only logical to dress them. Why don't we have men dressing up women instead of stripping them?
The Kilimani Moms, a group on Facebook, organized a platform to raise their voices against what they say is an infringement on the rights and the freedom of women to choose what they want to wear. The opinions here in this group of protesters do not necessarily fall along typical gender lines.
Kwa nini unatupa wakati yako ukifikiria mambo ya hiyo miniskirt ama ukifikiria nini iko huko juu? Inaoneshana kama wewe ni mwanaume wana hiyo, hautumii bongo ya kichwa.
The message was to reverberate across the city's nerves. To the Embasava offices along Accra Road, where the woman's clothes were torn off, to the office of the President and the Inspector General of Police to demand action on violence against women. It is, however, a struggle to find a middle ground between what's decent and what's inappropriate. The naysayers were also at hand to oppose what they see as indecency in the women's dress code. And while one side tugs at morals, the other tugs at their freedom of choice. For such a small piece of fabric, the debate around the mini is long enough. And the long and short of it centers on ethics versus rights for a society that still considers itself conservative. Sheila Sendeo, NTV.
Thank you so much to my fans.